Today we'll be talking about how to multiply and divide a polynomial by a constant. So far we've been looking at adding and subtracting, but now we're going to look at multiplying and dividing. So let me go through kind of the approach to this. So if you remember what the distributive property is, all that means is that the term on the outside will be multiplying to every term on the inside of the brackets. So let me go through a few examples here of how we multiply a polynomial by a constant, which just means we're multiplying the polynomial by a single number. So look at example A here, which is 3 times negative 2m plus 4. So what's going to happen here is the 3 is going to multiply to the 2m, or negative 2m, and the 3 is going to multiply to the 4. So what that looks like is 3 times negative 2m plus 4 times 3. Actually, I should say 3 times 4. So all you do is you multiply the coefficients together, or the numbers together, and then if there's a variable, you just attach the variable to that. So what this equals is 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6, but since there's an m, we attach the m to the end, plus 3 times 4, which is 12. And that's the answer. That's it. So all you're doing is multiplying the 3 on the outside to both terms. So let's try another example here where we have a trinomial. So it's negative 2 times negative n squared plus 2n minus 1. So what that looks like, if we're going to expand this, is negative 2 times negative n squared plus negative 2 times 2n plus negative 2 times negative 1. So now all we do is we multiply numbers together, and then we just multiply the coefficients together, or the numbers together. So negative 2 times negative n squared, that's the same thing as negative 2 times negative 1, which is equal to positive 2n squared. And here we have negative 2 times 2, which ends up being negative 4. But since there's an n, we keep the n. And here we have negative 2 times negative 1, which is positive 2. And that's the answer. Since we can't combine anything else, that is the answer. So basically, again, all that's happening here is the number on the outside of the brackets is multiplying into each of the terms inside the brackets. And then you multiply your numbers together and then keep the variable at the very end. And that's it. Now we're going to look at how we divide polynomials by a constant. It's very similar to multiplying polynomials, except for now we are dividing. So what we do here is we take each term in the numerator, so all the terms on top of the fraction, and we divide it by the denominator. So here, this is what it looks like. Let me go through a few examples. So we take each term on the top. We have 4s squared minus 8 divided by 4. So each term on the top is going to be divided by 4. So this is what it's going to look like. So you have 4s squared, which is a term on top, and we're going to divide it by 4 on the bottom. And here, let's just have a plus sign. Then we're going to have negative 8, which is the second term on top, and we want to divide it by 4. Include brackets since we have a negative. So now all we do is divide numbers. So for the first term here, we have 4 divided by 4, which is 1, and we just keep the s squared. And then we take negative 8 divided by 4, which is negative 2. This can also be written as s squared minus 2. So all we did there was we took each term on the top, and we divided it by the term on the bottom, which was 4. Let's go through another example, this time a trinomial. So then again, what we're going to do is we're going to divide each term on the top by the term on the bottom. So we have 3 terms on top. We have negative 3m squared, and we need to divide that by negative 3, since that's the term we have on the bottom, plus 15mn. Don't worry about the mn, it's just variables. But the key part is we need to divide by negative 3, and we do a plus sign, and then minus 21n squared, and we are going to divide this by negative 3. So all I did here was I divided each of the terms on top by negative 3. So now all we do is we divide all the numbers. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. So that's actually gone. All I have left is m squared. And here I do 15 divided by negative 3, which is negative 5, and I still have my mn. And lastly, I have negative 21 divided by negative 3, which is positive 7, and we keep the n squared. So here all we're doing is we're taking all the terms on top and we're dividing each of those terms by the number on the bottom. And once we've done that, all we do is we divide our numbers and we keep our letters attached at the end of each term. So hopefully those examples are enough to get you by. And let me know if you have any questions.